Nintendo has been a blast. What we did with this though, it's like 4 in the morning by the way, in case you wanted to know that. What we did with this though, we hacked it. Well, I didn't hack it. There's some Russian person made a whole program called like Hackchi or something. Excuse me. Actually, no, I didn't do it though, in case I get in trouble by the company. I didn't do it. Instead, just watch someone's YouTube video. You know, you watch those YouTube videos and, I don't know, it's like stuff happens on those YouTube videos. So we did that, and we got a couple extra games. I tried to get NES classic games to work, but they wouldn't. And there's another program, Retro Arch or something, and then I could do that, and then apparently that'll work. But I'm getting better at it. Alright, so Super Nintendo, never had it. And I was going to put the classic Nintendo games on it, and it's pointless buying the NES Classic when that gets re-released in the summertime. So, Nintendo. Want to hear a story about Nintendo? Nintendo, tell you a story about Nintendo. Probably my room's in the background messy when I do that. My speakers still don't work. But here's the thing on Nintendo. You see, this area where I live is total crap. You know, I've said it for years. It's garbage. If I would have grew up here, I don't know, one thing, I probably would have been extremely stupid in this particular area. May have been on drugs. Maybe may have been dead by now at my age. I don't know. It's a really bad, crappy, stupid area. Most of my stories are from somewhere else, not really here, except for getting a deal on something or finding something because people are so broke they give it away. So Super Nintendo, never had it. I think my friend had it at the time. The kid that used to race RC cars and stuff, and his dad had an Impala and this and that. But I never really got to play it because they played with their brother. Other people used to come by late at night. They were in like some like punk band, and they would play Super Nintendo. Oh, that's the controller falling on the ground for the third time. Has it been damaged yet? No, but it will. I'm telling you. I'm gonna have to. This is ridiculous, man. Everything you buy here gets wrecked. Alright, so the story time. I had regular Nintendo, don't know what happened to it. I had Nintendo 64. Back, I don't know, when did Nintendo 64 come out? 1998, 1999, something like that. So there was this kid that showed up one day, and when I was still attending school. I left school when I was like 14. Disappeared. Quit school when I was 14. No, I didn't. Well, long story. So there was this kid that showed up in like elementary school. His name was Mark. Apparently his dad, well, not apparently, it is his story. They were in the band the Fatboys. His dad was Prince Marky D, the Fatboys. So he used to like come by, pick him up and everything. We're like, that's the rapper guy, Prince Marky D. He's on the TV and everything. I think he has some radio show now, Miami. They live in Miami. They got out of the New York area. But yeah, this guy threw like a party for the kid. The kid had like everything. He had like the supercomputer, the Windows 98 supercomputer. I get the not the XP, or whatever the hell, 7, 10, whatever the hell, supercomputer. Excuse me. So they had everything. Had a go-kart. The dude, the rapper guy, had the Cadillac Escalade, the first gen. Apparently he had an Impala before that, a 96 one, traded in for the Escalade. Yeah, the kid had like everything, but he had the Nintendo 64 when it first came out. I don't know what they would cost, $200, something like that, $150, $250, I don't know. But I remember there was like some party. We had like the kids party. We were like 10 or 12 years old, maybe 12 years old, I don't know. And they had the like rapper party with the adults who were like, I don't know, he was probably like around like 30 with all these other people that showed up. Yeah, they had like records all over the house. It was interesting. I think the house was around like suburban, in a suburban lane or something. I don't know where I used to live in that particular town. So they disappeared whatever years later, but I still remember the party, Nintendo 64, and everyone's like, "Oh, you got the Nintendo 64!" And then kids were like fighting, like beating the shit out of each other to try to play like a Nintendo 64, because he was like the only kid who had it because they were rich or something. You know, they were in the Fatboys, the band. That was that. You know, you never hear those stories around here about anyone famous unless they're just famous on the news because they have a meth lab. But that's what it is in Southwest Florida compared to other areas. But that's my story about the Nintendo 64. The freaking rapper kid from the Fatboys had the Nintendo 64 back in the day. And I think they might make a mini one next. I don't know. It's probably pointless. I still have a Nintendo 64. My sister took it before removed. I'm glad she did, but apparently it was in the basement when there was a fire. But she said that the area where it was in a separate room didn't get burned, but I would imagine it has smoke damage on it, possibly heat damage. I don't know. They haven't screwed with it yet. So one day, if I'm ever up there, I have to go try to revive old Nintendo. I got that Nintendo, by the way, at Costco. I remember it was a whole bundle. 2 controllers, like 3 video games. Years later at Costco. Maybe it had a memory card with it. But yeah, when it was cheaper. Because you couldn't go for no $200 or $150, whatever the hell it was at the time. So it was too much damn money. So that's that. That's the story of the video game. Yeah, this is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of fun in a way, but it's kind of depressing because you realize how time has passed, and I get more down thinking about it with this area I live in. It's like a real bummer. Every day's a bummer here, believe it or not. Some people actually like where they live. I don't like where I live. I didn't like where I lived years ago either. That whole area changed too. It changed to poop. You know, it's crap. Look what happened again in the election up there again. What's New Jersey soon? I'm out for New Jersey. What is they going to have? A 5-round limit on their firearms? They're trying to take everything away. And the mindless people in the world just want to go along with it. But that's that. That's my story of the Nintendo. We're going to turn this off. No one really cares about this stuff because they don't like stories. People just want quick information, like how to hack it. Alright, we didn't do that though, we just watched the video. And, yeah. I don't know. You just connect it to your computer, USB port, Hachi. I won't show you the program. I'm tired. Oh, adding to this now. Super Nintendo, the memory of this was in the Toys R Us. You know, they had the little display thing in like the video game section. And it would be like, there was a controller and their little rigid handle. There'd be like always some little kids like 4 years younger than you, like you can barely touch it, screwing up, or he played it like excellent and you just want to leave. And the kid had like no parents. That was always the case with that. But yeah, that's how I originally played Super Nintendo, for a couple minutes at a time. That's how I remember. It's the same games at the Toys R Us in, what was that, Lake Grove? I think it was Lake Grove. It's still there, I think, the place. Next door used to be a Service Merchandise. Look up that company. Gone.